Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Christiana Davidson. I'm a psychotherapist and a hypnotherapist, and I specialize particularly in this area of family dysfunction, childhood trauma, and narcissistic family systems. And today we're going to look at one aspect of the narcissistic family system, and that is when you have a narcissistic mother. I'm just aware of an airplane going over here, so apologies if there is some background noise. So, the title for today is The Narcissistic Borderline Mother, because those two quite often go together. This type of mother uses one of her children as a safe base from which she can explore the world. Now, those of you that are familiar with attachment theory, you will already hear the absurdity of that title. According to attachment theory, a secure, safe base is probably the most important need in the development of a child. It's crucial for them. A secure base is provided via a relationship with an attachment figure who provides the attunement, the sort of responsiveness, the attentiveness, and the sensitivity to the child's needs. So the child feels safe with this attachment figure because they know that their needs are going to be cared for, that it's something that they can return, someone they can return to feel that sense of safety, that they're not alone. So the child will often, when they begin to explore the world, which is, around the age of, say, 3 and upwards, or even before then, 2, 3, they start to sort of tentatively go off and explore the world. And before then, actually, even as toddlers, children do, they often look back to the safe base in their attachment figure to restore their confidence so that they can continue exploring. So they come back, find some relief from the sort of fear of stepping away from mum, of separating. And then once their confidence is restored that she will always be there, then they're able to go further and further and for longer and longer away from her. So it's kind of like, mum is always going to be there. That sort of feeling is what brings the security, even when she's not there later on. Now, in dysfunctional family systems, things are always turned on their head. They're always topsy-turvy. And it's the same in this situation. So when your mother has narcissistic personality disorder or borderline or both, the exact opposite happens. So the parent, the mother, is in search of a secure, safe base because she herself is emotionally stunted. She's developmentally stunted. She's at a young age inside. She's toddler age herself, and therefore she is run by her own inner child, and it's a traumatized inner child. So, number one, the mother is actually looking to find a secure base for herself as an adult, because even if she's married to the father of her child, she still doesn't feel secure in that. I mean, he could leave at any minute. He could, so she needs to find some way of finding a permanent source of security so that she can feel calm and confident and soothed. So she needs her child to meet her needs for regulation, attention, attunement, encouragement, and certainty and consistency. She needs a source of security in the world so that she can go off and explore it. She needs a source of security actually at home so that she can have the courage to go and face the world. That's really important, that this source of security is at home. And it's the same for children with mother. They need to know that mother is at home, so to speak, because that brings some security for them as they go out into the world. They know where she is, basically. So what happens here is subconsciously, the narcissistic borderline mother, what she does is she will nurture one of her children to be that forever safe base for her. And I mean forever. In other words, she usually will groom the golden child into this role. She'll enmesh with the golden child so that she is assured of this child's love, that she will never be alone, and that the child will be there for her always. So usually the golden child is the adorer. The golden child is the one that sort of supports the mother, is the defender, who sees the world through her eyes, is attuned to her, is wanting to please her, on her side, her mini-me, who is actually toxically hypnotized into enmeshing with the mother in order to become this mother's substitute mother, who will give her the certainty of being loved when she is in the world. Hi, Vicky. Yeah. I was the golden child. She was a pure narcissist also. Yes. The golden child is the one that's kind of singled out for this sort of safe base role. And it's an awful role, this one. It really is, because it demands the whole of you. It demands not only your life as a child, but your life forever, into adulthood as well. She's still seeking to keep you as her safe base. So the narcissistic borderline mother feels secure when she has this child in place to enter the world of other adults. Because despite her inner feeling of inadequacy as an adult, she knows she can return to security when reunited with her child, who does see her as an adult and idealizes her. So mum's safe to go out more and more into the world, knowing that she has this security of her child to come back to. This soothes her and allows her to explore again, but she needs to ensure that her child never leaves this role as her safe, secure base, especially as they begin to mature. And when I say mature, I mean this begins sort of age 3-ish, when the child starts to really separate, or begin to show signs of separation, rather. This can really throw the mother into a bit of frustration, a bit of anger, and sort of reprimanding the child for these steps away, the natural steps of being away. Hi, Jacqueline, rather. My brother was miserable. He was the golden child. Yes. Despite being the so-called chosen one, or the pleasing one, it's a role that demands everything. All your energy, everything has to go into being a source of supply for the parent. So in order, for these types of mothers to sort of intercept the natural maturing of their children, and I'm talking about even into adulthood here, this type of mother will need to infantilize them. So, even in adulthood, these types of mothers will sort of, say sort of really infantilizing things, like childish things. They may call you names that are quite childish, or, nicknames you had as a child. They've used those to kind of bring you back into that childish role, or put up photos of you as a young child, um, as opposed to you as an adult, because they just can't see you as an adult. That doesn't work for them. So for narcissistic borderline mothers, she cannot allow you to become an adult, as you will no longer then be convinced by her act as an adult. And her safety depends on you always being her safe base. So she'll use guilt to pull at your heartstrings. Well, she'll use anything really to maintain this status quo. And that is why it's so hard for these types of mothers when their golden child goes no contact. It sends them into a state of panic, a state of chaos, and the first thing they've got to do is find a substitute safe base. And that will be somebody else, who they've probably got lined up in the background anyway as a substitute in case. So they're looking for that safety of someone adoring, attuning, admiring, and reassuring them. And they always do find someone, always. It's a matter of life and death for these mothers. They have to. Okay. And that is why I often suggest to clients of these types of mothers that they do go no contact for at least some duration, because it's the only way to break this enmeshment and this reliance on you as a safe base. This is where it's all been thrown upside down. You're meant to be relying on them as a safe base as you mature and more as an adult. And then it's lovely, you need them less and less as an adult. But it's still subconsciously a wonderful thing to know that you have a parent there who isn't needy of you, but is there as a source of reminder that you're not alone, and you have somebody who's on your side, and encouraging you in your development as an adult. Now, for children of these mothers, the golden child usually is so debilitating. They're never allowed to differentiate fully, and they are developmentally stunted as a result of this. You see, on one hand, they're groomed to be infant-like forever, and on the other hand, so dependent on one hand, and on the other hand, they've got to be a safe base, and they've got to be depended on. So it's crazy making. It's so confusing and frustrating, but ultimately the adult must allow themselves to see the truth of this toxic relationship and free themselves of it, of the toxicity. And it's riddled with guilt, because the golden child is love bombed all the time, so it's hard to break free of being this one that pleases mother. You see, they learned, these children, that to be loved is to be someone else's support, someone else's safe base, so that that person can be out in life. They learned, in other words, to be at home, to be holding it together, so that mum could do some adulting. They learned that their role is to be almost at home, so that others can explore, rather than being free to go off and explore themselves. And hence the golden child is often the one that finds it most difficult to break away from the family system, from the home, because this is where they've been groomed to be a safe base. And actually, this them being the safe base is not only just for the mother, it's usually for the other family members too. Jacqueline says, yes, as the scapegoat, I felt so bad for him. I think he had it worst. Gosh, Jacqueline, that shows your empathy there. Look, no one gets out of these types of systems unscathed. The scapegoat has their own deeply, deeply difficult experience, and it is sad. It is sad to see this type of dysfunction. But on the other hand, the lemons we're given in life, they can sometimes lead to our greatest good. So while it's not an ideal situation, each of us is given the opportunity to remedy this and to make great lemonade out of it. And that's what I try to help clients do. We begin to debunk this role that these types of golden children are in. And we begin to restore the safe base that was never there for you. We begin to bring it within you so that you can go within and find your safety. And we begin a dialogue between the good parent, you now, and your inner child. And that's where the healing really, really happens. But sometimes also the therapeutic relationship can be a great start at an experience of a safe base. It can sort of offer that attachment need that was never there. And so that can be a really, really helpful start to really experience what it is like to have somebody there who you can really feel safe with. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks, Vicky. And to everyone else who's watching, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video if you think it would help anybody else. Take care, everyone. Bye now.